Do you have any jokes that you can think of?
Like something funny.
Yeah, a joke, something
Um,
funny.
no, I'm really bad at telling jokes. What did one muffin say to the other muffin?
Oh God. Please tell me this is a muffin top joke.
No, it's a oh look, a talking muffin. That's the only joke I
How do you find Will Smith in the snow?
I don't know.
You look for fresh prints.
That's funny. That one's actually funny.
Hey guys, this is Brandon Rahe with this week's Go Headquarters podcast. Today joining me is special guest Ryan Mowery. Say hello, Ryan.
Hello.
The reason I've got Ryan on here today is to set a great example for all of you that might struggle with the excuse, I don't have enough time to exercise or eat right. So we're going to get into a little bit of Ryan's history and how she handles that kind of stuff. Ryan came to Go Headquarters about a year ago and came in the door, and she was kind of partying a little too much, socializing a little too much, and she didn't like her current status as far as her fitness level and conditioning and aesthetics, and she wanted to get real serious about fitness, and we dove right in, like pretty much head first, started training pretty aggressively 3 days a week with me, and then she was really diligent about getting on her homework assignments on the other days. We got right into the nutrition, and she's made tremendous progress since. Some of you might know her as Heart Rate Monitor Girl from a previous podcast that I was on a Funky Fork episode. So anyway, Ryan, welcome to today's show, and thanks for joining us. Tell me a little bit about your background, where you were when you came to Go Headquarters, what you think you were doing wrong, and what you were looking to accomplish.
Ugh. Before I came, I was, I had been in the bartending industry for a little while now. So, I was drinking every single day, like a lot, like a real lot. That's what we do, even like we get off work and we drink, and we drink while we're at work, and that's what we do. So I was drinking at work, I was drinking a lot off of work, and then, usually when you're drinking, you eat crappy food. So, I was doing that for probably about a year or so. And then I started noticing my pants weren't fitting the same. And I just literally, like, I woke up one morning and I was like, I'm done feeling like this. I was sleeping all day, until I had to go to work, and then I'd stay out all night drinking again and do the same thing. So eventually I just I got tired of it and decided to do something.
Yeah, you said when you were drinking a lot, you would eat crappy foods. Name some crappy foods that would be pretty typical.
Entire large pizzas, like a whole pizza with, I would eat like, oh, it's just disgusting. Like I would always make this concoction. It had ice cream and cookies and Reese cups and melted peanut butter on top, and I would eat that. And I know it's gross, but it's really great. I would eat combos, like little combos and like gas station sandwiches and just gross stuff.
Combos are the little pretzel things
The stuffed pretzels, yeah, they're
with
really
like
good.
a flavoring inside, right?
Yeah. But mostly pizza. That was my go-to.
Okay, I gotcha. What were your, like, I guess expectations coming into to start working with a trainer? Because it was your first time working with a trainer and kind of getting into a dedicated fitness routine, right?
Yeah. I had previously, like, I'd say like a few years ago, like maybe 3 or 4 years ago, I used to frequent the gym, 3 or 4 times a week. Of course, mostly cardio and stuff. I didn't really know what I was doing. Um, that's when I was a little bit younger and my metabolism was a little bit different than it is now. I could eat whatever I wanted to. Um, so yeah, but it was like one of those things like most people do. I'd go for a while and then I'd stop. And then like when I first came to you, I hadn't been in a while. So yeah, came to you for guidance, I guess.
Yeah.
Motivation.
And what was the hardest part of doing like I guess the change of lifestyle that you have made right now? Was it the nutrition? Was it getting into the habit and routine of going to the gym every day? What were some of those battles initially, like that first month, if you can remember back to that?
I feel like the nutrition part was fairly easy for me. That part wasn't so rough. The roughest part was definitely the drinking because I was still, I still have the same friends. I still, have the same job. So all that is still around me. Um, so the alcohol was the hardest thing to give up for a while. That was definitely the roughest one.
Okay. And you've got that's an interesting point in and of itself, I guess, is there's a social connotation with alcohol, not just even if that's what you want to do on your own, but there's just that social thing, and then there's the food part that goes with the drinking, and there's the staying out, so it's sucking your time away. So that's like the one topic it magnifies itself, I guess, into other areas.
Exactly. Somebody asked me the other day if I wanted to have a drink or eat cookies, like what would I do? And I was like, I don't know. If I have the drink, I'm going to probably eat cookies too. So I should probably just go with the cookies. So yeah, you're right. They come hand in hand. So
Yeah, cookies don't carry a hangover with it either.
no, exactly.
Okay. So moving on to where you are now, like fast forward, I guess, to the fact that you're really in a groove with things, with your nutrition, your food prep, your training, how many days a week you train, that kind of stuff. Tell me a little bit about how many days a week you're in the gym, maybe when you do your food prep, how often that takes place.
Okay. Well, I on average I go to the gym about 6 days a week. It just kind of depends. I'm a full time student, so it kind of depends. Sometimes I'll go less, sometimes I go more than that. It works out however. Um, I go, my food prep is also kind of the same way. Like I said, I have a really tight schedule. Sometimes I don't get to, prep exactly like full meals like I used to do. A lot of times I'll just, prep like 2 or 3 times during the week when I have like some extra time, like even if it's late, like after I've gotten home from school or, home from the gym, or if I have like any like extra hour or anything, I'll try to cook at least like something for, 2 or 3 days. But I don't prep my food the way I used to do, where I would prep it for the whole week and shop once a week.
Yeah. And so to give a little more detailed history on where you currently are, so we're living in St. Augustine, right?
Yep.
But you're going to school all the way up in Jacksonville, so we've got a lot
Yeah.
of a lot of drive time, plus of course all the school hours.
Hmm.
You're still working a full time job,
Yep.
which carries with it because you're a bartender. You're out really late, so you're not on the normal schedule. You're not on a 9 to 5. So your access to the gym is different. You're in the gym really late at night sometimes, um, stuff like that. So, how do you kind of juggle all of that stuff?
You make time for it. For a couple weeks, like even like within like the last month or so, on Tuesdays my schedule is so tight with school, um, that I usually only have like 30 minutes between classes at the most. So I'm usually like stuffing food down my face to and then go to the next class. So I wasn't having time to work out or anything. So I would go afterwards sometimes, but I was always really tired and I wasn't getting in like a good workout. So I was skipping a lot of days because of that. And then recently I've started getting up, extra hour early and just going beforehand, to cram it in there. That way I know I get it done, and it's actually been a lot better. I feel a lot better about it. And then in the extra time between classes I use for studying, or I'll squeeze in some cardio if I can. Just whatever I have time for.
Yeah. So even little gaps, I guess. As far as anyone with a similar schedule to you, that's going to school, that's going to work, that's you know whatever it is, just someone that claims that they are really, really busy, right? You'd probably someone you would be someone that could challenge them and be like, yeah, well, I'm just as busy as you, but I prioritize this maybe more and absolutely make it happen. Um, so would you recommend to those types of people to just squeeze in little like 20-minute cardio sessions or 20-minute strength sessions whenever they can, as opposed to abandoning it if they can't make a full 1 hour workout?
Of course, because I mean, I do the same thing, and I understand. Like when you first get into it, it's hard. You feel like you don't have time. Once it becomes a habit, you make time for it. Just like I said, like a lot of times I don't have time for, hour long workouts or whatever. So if I have 30 minutes between classes, I'll rush to the gym and do like 30 minutes for the cardio, or, I'll superset everything for 30 minutes. That way I get as much done as I can. So yeah, I definitely recommend. I mean, anything is better than doing nothing.
Yeah, definitely. Um, so where you are right now, as far as work goes, you'd probably drink a little bit at work. The bad food's flowing around, right? The fries are coming in and out. Typical like, I don't know, bar type food, whatever. What are some of your current complications with that? Because you're in a bad environment. This is equivalent for me anyway to people being in like an office setting and someone always brings in donuts and always has cupcakes. It's always someone's birthday where you're just surrounded by that stuff. How do you handle some of that now? Where are your successes and failures?
Well, it's definitely rough. Like I think I told you the other day, there's always French fries in the window at work. Definitely my weakness. Sometimes, we're really busy. I don't have time to eat. Like, I work late nights, so we get busy in the bar. I don't have time to eat food. Um, so yeah, I'll eat French fries. That's my weakness. But at the same time, I do bring food. I always pack my meals for work. I do try to bring things like if I know we're going to be busy that are quick for me to eat. I'll put like protein bars in there or something I can eat to, hold me over instead of eating French fries. Um, just I try to bring snacks that are quick and easy to not eat French fries.
Yeah, definitely easier said than done. And that's the same kind of stuff I would encourage on anyone that's in an office environment or a more traditional environment where they're surrounded by maybe unhealthy people and unhealthy habits to bring your healthy habits with you. You've got to have food available. Otherwise, you're going to get caught in that temptation of, eating the fries in the window or the donut that's sitting in the office calling your name.
Exactly.
Um, yeah. If there was being so busy with multiple things going on, right? You have school hours, you've got to study for exams and all that stuff, put in homework assignments and work. What's one of the first things that you want to skip? Like, do you want to skip a workout? Do you want to skip studying? Do you want to skip going to school?
I well, it depends. Depends on what the assignment is. Usually, I skip my workouts first. Um, yeah, usually I skip my workouts first, mostly because I can feel if my food is off track for a couple days, I notice it. Like I can tell my energy's low. I just don't feel right. Whereas if my food is on point and I'm not training, I kind of still feel okay. Um, so that's usually the first thing I give up. I usually still try to stay on track with my food. School is obviously my priority right now. It only took me long enough to get serious about it, so that's good. Um, yeah, get rid of my workouts first. Sadly, to say that.
Yeah, I mean, you obviously have a lot of deadlines with school and everything, so that's got to be a priority for someone in your situation for the short haul. But I think personally, you do a really good job of trying to balance all this stuff out. I think you've made tremendous progress in the gym, and your strength has come up tremendously. You've leaned out tremendously. Um, you still hate the air bike.
Doesn't everybody hate the air bike? Ugh.
What is your favorite exercise?
Hmm. Deadlifts. I like that. And squatting, the typical two big moves. Those are my favorites.
Okay, right on.
Maybe because I feel like those are my stronger points, I guess. Yeah, I like those.
Okay, two least favorite.
Mm. Hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and say air bike for you.
Yes, that's clearly. And the sled. I hate the sled.
Okay, all right, fair enough.
Pool. I hate sled. Wait, I hate the pool more than the push. Push is all right. The pool is that was rough.
All
Ugh.
right. And then what are some of your future goals right now in fitness and or nutrition? Do you have anything particular coming up that you're working towards?
Nothing particular. Clearly, since I have, you know, became interested in fitness, I have found a love for nutrition. So I am a nutrition major. I will be finished with school in, I'll say a little bit less than 2 years, hopefully. So that's my main focus right now. And then, just keep on working to be better. Maybe compete eventually. I don't know yet. So those are my,
Compete at what? What would you be competing in?
what do you mean?
You said compete. What would you compete in?
Like shows, like fitness shows.
Yeah, so like a fitness, like a competition, something physique based,
Exactly.
as opposed to like a CrossFit competition or a triathlon.
Yes. Yeah, yeah, exactly what I meant. Not,
Yeah,
yeah.
the listeners may not know.
Well, I know. I clearly didn't think to specify.
So Ryan, what would be your current favorite cheat food if you had to pick one other than your concoction of cookies and ice cream and everything listed earlier?
Pizza. Pizza is my ultimate favorite food ever. I could eat it all 3 meals.
What do you get on it? What toppings?
Just pepperoni, and I mostly pick the pepperonis off, but I order it with pepperoni. Or the holy shiitake pie from Mellow Mushroom. That one's, have you had that? It's delicious.
Holy shiitake. No, I
Uh-huh.
haven't had that.
It's,
I got caught on you order pepperoni but pick the pepperoni off.
yeah,
Why
I don't know.
do you eat the pepperonis?
I think it's because they put too much on it all the time, so I take like a couple off and then just leave some.
Okay. So you're paying for the topping and not wanting it.
Yeah, I don't know.
I
I don't know.
gotcha. All right. All right. I'll work on understanding that later. Um,
One of my quirks. I don't know.
what would you advise anyone with a super, super busy schedule like you? Like, do you have any immediate tips on? I know we talked about like squeezing in a short workout earlier. Do you have any major tips as far as organizing their schedule or prioritizing things? What they should do to still make their workouts and nutrition happen for someone that's just as busy as you are?
Um, I'll tell you what works for me, or what have found to work is at the beginning of every week, I make a list of everything that I have due for school. That way, and I write like the due dates beside it. That way, I know like, okay, this is what needs to get done in order for me, not to have a pile up of events at the end of the week. Um, so just learning about, I guess, your time management is really important. There was a while that I just made excuses. I didn't have time. The same stuff most people do. Um, you just have to learn to make time. Manage it. That's it.
Yeah, definitely agreed. Hard to do, hard to come around to that. But I think you're a great example that once you come through with that and actually make time, make fitness a priority, big things can happen pretty quick.
Exactly. It's always hard in the beginning, but what do they say? After like 21 days, it becomes a habit. So
Right. You feel like you've got a habit of fitness now?
most of the time.
How many
Except for
how many pairs of shoes do you have?
tennis shoes or regular shoes.
Yeah, like workout shoes.
I don't know why. A bunch.
We need to have like a who's got more colorful shoes battle one day.
I only have like maybe like 8 pairs total.
All right, you're still a newcomer to that, so
I haven't bought any in like at least like 4 or 5 months. So
all right. Christmas is coming up though.
right.
All right. Well, Ryan, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. I think you've got some good insight, and I think you set again a great example for people that are getting into fitness that use that whole "I don't have time" thing as an excuse. So good luck with all your future fitness and nutrition endeavors and school, and have a great Thanksgiving and all that good stuff.
Awesome. Thanks, Brandon.
Yeah.
Bye.
Been Brandon Rahe, Go Headquarters Podcast. We'll see y'all next time.